Rocket Mortgage is with you.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. When you turn to Rocket Mortgage, we can help guide you to those right decisions now, when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give you that financial boost you're looking for. Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I certainly do have an increased energy level. I get treatments every 8 weeks, and that really kind of slows me down and, makes me very tired for a few days. But I seem to be getting over that much quicker now that I'm taking your products.
Balance of Nature is now offering 35% off on any new preferred order. Go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code FRUITS.
NASA has announced the agency's headquarters building in Washington, D.C. will be named after a pioneer female engineer. CBS News correspondent Peter King has that.
She was a research mathematician who had higher ambitions.
I plan on being an engineer at NASA.
Janelle Monáe is Mary Jackson in the movie Hidden Figures. Jackson did become NASA's first African-American female engineer. She worked on wind tunnels in segregated Virginia. Her research helping the agency's rockets fly smoothly and efficiently, lessons that also help build better cars and planes. The Mary W. Jackson Building is on what's now called Hidden Figures Way in Washington. Peter King, CBS News.
The Washington Redskins are removing former owner George Preston Marshall from their Ring of Fame and striking all references to him on their website. A team spokesman says the decision was made to scrub Marshall from the team's identity. It's the latest move to cut ties with the legacy of the team's founder, who refused to sign black players until 1962. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
Hi, this is Joanne from Nutrition World. Just letting all of my listeners know we have been diligent in sanitizing the store and using every precaution possible to keep our customers safe. I am offering free shipping on all orders over $30 if you choose not to come in the store. I am really hoping that all my listeners are taking time right now to get fresh air, to get exercise into their daily routine, keep hydrated, and get the proper amount of sleep. It's critical right now that attitude is everything. To please take time to laugh, to give yourself a break. You can find Nutrition World right on US 1 in Fort Pierce, across from Fort Pierce City Hall, in between Orange Avenue and Avenue A. Our phone number is 772-464-3598. Call me with any questions or concerns. All my best, Joanne.
Joanne's Nutrition World, now open from 11 to 3, Monday through Saturday. Call 464-3598.
Hey, it's Dr. Ravi at Tradition Family Chiropractic. We are dedicated to serving you and your family with integrity, compassion, and innovative care through the most advanced chiropractic care ever in chiropractic history, encouraging your health and your family's health to its maximum potential on a regular basis. Call us today at 772-345-0060 or schedule online at traditionhealth.com for your free consultation.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, you're encouraged to like and share them on Facebook. It's time for Joanne's World of Nutrition, presented by Nutrition World, US 1, between Orange Avenue and Avenue A, across from City Hall, in historic downtown Fort Pierce. And now, during yet another Dr. Ravi week, here's your host, Joanne Seeger.
Hello, everyone. So nice to be with you this morning, and I want to do a little welcome back for you, Cliff. Yay!
Oh, the comeback is the key word.
Yeah. Yes. Well, come back. Yes, you look awesome. So it's so good to have you.
Well,
I don't hear my voice in my headset, though. So what's going on?
Well,
did you forget how to work the headsets?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no. Actually, you have to actually put them on and plug them in.
Yeah, something feels different or sounds different. So we maybe need to tweak it.
If I'm not careful, I could blow your eardrums.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, now I found sounds more normal.
But you've
how you
seen
doing,
people-
Dr. Ravi? We have Dr. Ravi in the house.
Doing
well,
well.
don't I sound young and cool?
He's got
Dr.
your back.
Ravi in the house.
He's
oh,
got
yeah.
your back.
Oh, yeah. I'm a little crazy this morning, so look out, guys. All right. Well, I am really happy to see you. And, Greg, oh, my God, working with him. Oh, geez.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
No, he was cool. He kept trying to make jokes the whole time and making me laugh.
I was
so.
too dependent on the walker for too long, and part of the physical therapy has reminded my body that I can stand up straight and walk straight upright.
It's an amazing thing.
If you stay on that walker, though, what happens? Your back gets bent and it stays that way, and then you need Dr. Ravi.
Yes.
Well, it's funny because I really didn't know you were going to be here today, as well
Really?
as Dr. Ravi didn't know. But do you know what today's topic is going to be?
Let me guess. Muscular pain?
Very
soreness,
good. Exactly.
Inflammation?
Yes. So we're
All
going to
about
talk about all
muscles.
that. And I feel like this show is really important right now because a lot of us have been couch potatoes or unfortunately having injuries or surgeries, whatever the reason.
Or the
but
need for them.
to welcome you back properly, you must be my breathing counter. Will you do that for us again?
Have you been holding your breath for a couple weeks?
Yeah,
Oh.
Greg couldn't count to 5. He really, he couldn't do it.
It was the
he
countdown
he kept
part,
laughing, and I think we made it one round one time. So
Yeah, you can't laugh hysterically while in a semi-meditative state.
all right, so Dr. Ravi, are you ready to do the breathing exercise?
I'm ready.
All right,
Let's
so
go.
newbies, welcome to the show. For all my regulars, I hope you're ready and you've been doing it every day. So we are going to exhale out drama, fear, negativity, all the junk that might be in our brain, and we're going to inhale for 5 only using our nose. We're going to hold for 5, and we're going to exhale for 5. And one of
Creating
my
balance.
great customers, she was telling me she's actually putting tape over her mouth. And if you watch a lot of YouTube videos, they have to do it. I've always been a good nose breather, but for people that are mouth breathers, this is important because you don't even know you're breathing through your mouth during this exercise.
You might be have a stuffy nose or something and not even know it.
Yeah, exactly. Because especially at night, if we're doing all mouth breathing, then habitually we're going to use mouth. So if you're one of those, get a piece of Scotch tape and close that lips.
Masking
All
tape
right.
works too.
So here we go. Exhale, everyone.
Let it all out, the negativity. Okay, let's do the balance thing.
All
Ready? Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5. Again. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly release. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may resume.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. Don't you feel better? I feel
much
better.
relaxed.
I feel so good. Well, today's show definitely I feel like is so needed. I have so many customers coming in just being like, muscular cramps, muscular fatigue, the neck, the tension, like everything is hurting all over, and they're trying to rub themselves and stuff, but it's more systemic than that. So who better than Dr. Ravi to explain the bigger words and the bigger picture, the more scientific approach to what might be happening in the human body. And then I'm going to interject with a lot of personal times because, besides myself, because believe it or not, I did 4 triathlons in 1 year. Isn't that crazy? And that part of me, it seems like so long ago, but I remember the help I gave my teammates, myself, during all the training and the races, using only natural remedies for muscular pains and spasms. So I'm definitely going to try to interject all of that as
Great.
well. So you texted me when you were talking about the topic of the show, a fancy word for muscles. I didn't even know what it was. What is that word?
Musculoskeletal system.
No, it was high alley. Oh my God, you texted, and then in parentheses you put muscles. And I'm like, what is that word? Do I have to,
Oh man, I
look at
forgot
my text? I'll look at my text. I
forgot what I even texted.
But yeah, I was laughing. I'm like, oh, look at him getting all fancy doctor-like. And if anyone watches us live, you'll see Dr. Ravi's in his doctor scrubs today.
It just makes it so much more
awesome.
comfortable in the office.
Yeah. Hey, if I could wear scrubs every day, I totally would.
And you're not constricted, and
Yeah.
your muscles are able to be more free.
No, I love it. And you know what? I have a
adjustments.
regular girl that she comes in every other day for an eye on foot cleanse, and she has a different color scrub for every day of the week. It's like hot pink, blue, green, black, white. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, I can't imagine your closet. It's like all scrubs, and
The color of the rainbow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at that text message. So
Yeah, let me
tell
know
us.
what word I used there.
What big fancy word trying to impress me over here? All right, so tell me, what are we talking about
We're
today?
talking all about muscles. And so the muscles or the musculoskeletal system. So today's purpose is not really talking about the bones. As the bones do support the body, you do have your muscles that help to do that. And the word that I used with Joanne was myalgias.
Ah.
So myalgia, myal is basically muscle, and algia is for pain. So muscle pain.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So in order to understand about muscles, we need to know what they are. And so these muscles, it depends on the type of research that you're reading through, but there are 650 to 840 different types of muscles.
Okay,
or
now
different muscles
I'm going
in
to ask
the body.
a stupid newbie question. So, if you're fit or unfit, are all the muscles there no matter what?
Yes.
So they're either just good muscles or weak muscles?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
And so what we find is that, these muscles help support the body for proper movement, right? And so we have different types of muscles now. We have smooth muscles. These muscles are the ones that are found in the uterus, in the stomach, in the blood vessels, mainly your organs. Even
What about
your eyes.
intestines? Is that a muscle?
That
in there?
is. There's smooth muscles on the lining of the intestinal wall.
Okay.
You also have your cardiac muscle. Take a guess what that does.
Pump blood and keep us alive.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, that's an important one.
It is.
Yeah, I don't want to lose that muscle.
You don't. And then for today's purpose, we're going to talk about skeletal muscles.
Skeletal. That's a
Skeletal.
tongue twister. Okay.
Not Skittles. Skeletal.
All right. Skeletal muscles. All right.
Yeah, in order for our muscles to work and help us move, we need to have these muscles in proper form and making sure that they're properly functioning the way it's intended to. So making sure that it's getting the proper oxygenation and nutrients. So I know many people heard the word ATP or mitochondria before.
Yeah, hopefully all
I
my
hope
listeners
so.
know mitochondria. I'm not sure about ATP.
ATP?
You might have to cover that a
All
little.
right. So basically the mitochondria helps to produce energy, which is ATP. Just
Yeah, the
a
center
fancy
of the
term.
cell.
The center of the cell.
Okay.
And ATP is needed for muscle contractions. And so what happens is when our body doesn't get the proper oxygenation and mitochondria is weak or weakening, it sets you up for injuries. On top of that, we get muscle injuries from prolonged sitting, especially with this whole pandemic issue that's going on. We get it from overdoing exercises or lack of exercising. We get it from new physical activity. And one that I'm seeing very prominent in practice is dehydration.
Yes, I see that every day.
Yes.
Every day.
Do you have any tips on how to prevent dehydration, Joanne?
Well, I've been saying this for years. I love this little trick. So I always say go to the dollar store, buy those cheap little tiny cups. And I always say they're like the 50s little diner orange juice cups. And fill that with water every single hour you're awake. That way, it's not too much water at a time. It won't feel like it's going right through you, sending you to the bathroom. Because I notice with most of my customers, They're afraid to drink water because their bladder is not performing well. And I try to explain to that it's a double-edged sword. Your bladder's not doing well because it's dehydrated. So it's basically, you put water in, it's like right out. So a little incremental water. And the other trick I have is I call it licking salt. So I learned this many, many years ago. It's helped many customers as well as myself. You lick your hand, you sprinkle Himalayan salt or the purest salt you can buy, and then you lick it, and you're basically giving yourself instant saline that's more absorbable water, and of course good water quality. And I hate to say this, Dr. Ravi, because you're drinking one of them.
Yes. It was
Don't
an easy grab
drink
this morning.
any cheap water plastic bottles because water quality is an issue. Your body's going to try to get rid of it if it's considered a toxin or a poison, and if it has a lot of chlorines and fluorides and mold inhibitors or plastics in it, the body will look at it as a foe and not a friend. So good water carriers, good quality water, and do that licking of the Himalayan salt trick. I sell the Himalayan salt shakers. It makes it so easy. It's economical, pure, good quality. So definitely helps every single human function.
Yeah, with the heat index being over well into the hundreds these
Yesterday
past
was
few
insane.
days. Crazy.
It was insane yesterday.
We've actually started telling patients to put just a pinch of Himalayan salt in their water.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, because,
Okay.
just 23 different minerals in Himalayan salt to help hydrate the muscles
Definitely.
and prevent any injuries.
And sometimes, which I'm going to cover later, the issue that we're having is kind of funny because a lot of consumers think as soon as they're hot, let me drink these Gatorades and Powerade drinks, which definitely cause more problems than help them. So you really have to understand, unless you're out in the football field playing a 6-hour game, you do not need a Gatorade or a Powerade. That amount of glucose is going to cause the dehydration and the inflammatory issues that are causing your muscles to hurt much more than that simple processed synthetic solution they're giving you for minerals. So that I definitely want to make clear today, that so many people, as soon as it gets hot, let me run to the store and get cases
Powerade,
of
yeah.
Powerade
Nope.
and drink all this toxic colored poison
Himalayan
liquid.
salt
Yeah.
and water will do it.
Yes, and much cheaper.
Much, yes.
cheaper, and you'll
Yes.
save the environment from all the bottles. Okay.
So when we're, have a prolonged sitting, when we're, exercising or just overdoing it or just dehydrated, it sets us up for an injury, a musculoskeletal injury.
Yeah, and I find that it also, too, you wake up with this stuff
You
without
do.
even purposely injuring yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, let's talk about that. Specifically when you wake up in the morning with a strained muscle. And so what a strained muscle really is when the muscle is just fatigued and all those fibers that help to build that muscle is now torn.
But is it because of how you're sleeping?
It is how you're sleeping and a rapid movement. Although you're sleeping, you're still moving around.
Yeah, I go back and forth from right side to left side.
And these quick impulses can tear the fibers within the muscles. And this is what we call a strained muscle.
Okay.
And so muscles attach bone and tendon and ligaments together. So once again, muscle is going to help attach and help more flexibility of movement. And so when you're moving rapidly, you can tear these fibers of your muscles. What this does, it creates inflammation. Now, it depends on the grade of muscle tearing and fibers that are torn. It can take up to 3 to 6 weeks for an acute injury, and something more chronic can take up to months for it to heal well.
And I think that's another issue. A lot of people just want to apply a cream or take a pill or one adjustment and feel like everything should just go away. And
doesn't work like that.
Unfortunately,
Yeah. The creams are great to help with the pain, but you want to address the cause of it. What really caused my muscle to tear? What caused it to become more strained? And so you have to address the root cause. Was your form wrong when you're doing your exercise? Were you not well hydrated? So these are questions.
Not exercising
or
at
not
all.
exercising at all, or just sitting for too long.
Yeah. How do we know? Like, so whenever I really get back into fitness, that muscle strain from, waking up the muscles, as I call it, sometimes is discouraging to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, is this worth it? I can't even get off the toilet because my legs hurt, are so much pain, or I can't hold a pencil. Is it worth it? How do you know? Because there's such a fine line between over exercising the muscle and under exercising. How do you know that comfort spot? How do you?
And that's really hard. And that's hard to say. It's based on patient and person. And so, of course, when you exercise for the first time after you haven't in a long while, you're going to have these delayed onset muscle soreness. And so what it is these muscle fibers are tearing, they're breaking, and they're building new fibers. So you will be sore. So that's why it's very important for proper magnesium source to help support your body.
My favorite.
Your favorite, yeah. Also, stretching before and after your activities.
Yes, there's more studies about stretching to help muscle soreness than even nutrient studies.
Yeah.
And we don't do it. Like when I was doing all those triathlons, so many people, even exerting themselves for that long a time, did not stretch.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It is. Yeah. It is. So when we have a new program, sometimes we can be discouraged from, continue on with it because we have that bad experience of I was sore.
Yep.
So for any listeners out there, just make sure you're listening to your body. We're going to give you some proper steps on what you can do to minimize this soreness and muscle strains, but it is very common. You just have to listen to your body and move forward.
Yeah, I think like with myself, I feel like I push it where I feel it, but not to where it would inhibit me to at least do the every other day routine. Because I feel like if you're going to have to put off like 4 days, it's going to defeat the purpose.
Yeah.
So, but we are big promoters, and I know Matt loves it, the Dr. Mercola 3-minute workout.
Yes.
It doesn't have the weight training, which he really promotes weight training, but in the beginning, he tells you to do it without the weights to get your body warmed up. And that's an effort, especially for people that aren't exercising. So if you haven't heard that show about Dr. Mercola, if you go on YouTube, Dr. Mercola 3-minute nitric oxide dump workout, or just Dr. Mercola workout, it's millions of views. You'll get it. Super easy. But can I go to magnesium now? Because you mentioned that. So
let's talk about a personal experience with your triathlons.
Oh, I have so many stories.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to give you my favorite one. So my friend Krista and I, we were going to the West Coast. And I know I've told my listeners the story because it's just remarkable to me about how supplements work. And she is definitely an amazing athlete, but for some reason, she was going way too fast that her bike tire hit the curb on a turn, and then she went flying off shoulder first into the curb as well. And so, of course, the golf cart guys, as we call them, were like, don't let the golf cart guys come. That means you're out. And so she was out. I basically got to finish the race, luckily, because I knew she was in good hands there. But by the time they had her in the back of an ambulance. She was all iced up. She literally had probably 4 bags of ice all over her, taped up. It was crazy. I have pictures of it. It's so much ice. And she was crying and saying, Joanne, please don't let them take me to a local hospital. I want to go home, which was 3 hours away, to my hospital. And I was like, oh, Krista, they won't let me. But for some reason, I talked them into it with the promise that I was going to get her right to our local. And only because she had all this ice on her. Well, she was screaming in pain. And when she got in the car and she looked at me, she goes, I know you have something in your little witch's first aid kit. You need to give it to me now. And so I started laughing. And sure enough, I had my arnica and I had my Curamin. And I gave her both. And this is how I believe, as someone that really wasn't in the condition to do 4 triathlons, that's how I never had injury or muscle strain, when a lot of my friends that were much better athletes did, because I had this stuff on hand after every race, and I took it immediately. So I gave it to her. Do you know, 20 minutes later, she called her husband to tell him what happened, and he goes, honey, you did not break anything. You sound fine. You don't even sound like you're in pain. And she starts laughing, and she's like, Joanne gave me some of her magic pills, and oh my gosh, I feel great. And sure enough, we went the whole ride with her feeling wonderful. And then about 4 hours, right when they took her in, it started subsiding. And sure enough, she had a break. But those Curamin and Arnica took the swelling and pain away enough where she felt no discomfort. I mean, to me, that's like the best story I have in my arsenal.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But yeah, so now I've been using it ever since. But the best thing about Arnica, which I'm going to go more into specifics, and magnesium and Curamin, these are things that are safe every day for all of us. Because like you said, just being sedentary, waking up with this muscle issues and muscle cramps, like these things are super common. 80% of Americans are deficient in magnesium. And our children are dealing with these problems, the headaches and the muscle issues and lack of the bowel movements. That's why I mentioned the muscles in our intestines. We can't forget those. So super critical. So I would say, yeah, I have lots of stories, but that's my best one. So,
nice. Yeah, that's a really good story, especially for the use of Curamin and Arnica.
Yeah, because a lot of people are turning to the toxic, like, the ibuprofens and all those. And unfortunately, we all know they have side effects, and we really believe that that's all that will work immediately. And so if we can just step outside the box and believe that there are things that work strongly, quickly, that do not have these side effects, we won't leave our bodies in such duress, and we won't cause it more inflammation.
Yeah.
So that's always my goal.
Great.
Less inflammation.
Less inflammation.
Yeah. I think, Dr. Ravi, this is a great time to go into a quick break. And we come back, we'll talk about more about muscular pains and spasms and strains and what we can do about it naturally. All right. Thanks, everyone. Hang on.
Hey, it's Dr. Ravi at Tradition Family Chiropractic. We are dedicated to serving you and your family with integrity, compassion, and innovative care through the most advanced chiropractic care ever in chiropractic history, encouraging your health and your family's health to its maximum potential on a regular basis. Call us today at 772-345-0060 or schedule online at traditionhealth.com for your free consultation.
Hi, this is Joanne from Nutrition World. Just letting all of my listeners know we have been diligent in sanitizing the store and using every precaution possible to keep our customers safe. I am offering free shipping on all orders over $30 if you choose not to come in the store. I am really hoping that all my listeners are taking time right now to get fresh air, to get exercise into their daily routine, keep hydrated, and get the proper amount of sleep. It's critical right now that attitude is everything. To please take time to laugh, to give yourself a break. You can find Nutrition World right on US 1 in Fort Pierce, across from Fort Pierce City Hall, in between Orange Avenue and Avenue A. Our phone number is 772-464-3598. Call me with any questions or concerns. All my best, Joanne.
Joanne's Nutrition World, now open from 11 to 3, Monday through Saturday. Call 464-3598.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Now back to Joanne's World of Nutrition.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for spending some time with Dr. Ravi and myself. We are talking about the muscles, strains, and pains, and man, I know that
Charlie horses.
Oh gosh, I haven't heard that word in a while. Everyone's like, "Oh, cramps! Oh my God, cramps!" But it is definitely debilitating. I know that personally, you've treated me so many times. Like when I wake up and I have that neck tension, my poor husband, he has to deal with that. But yet he sleeps on 9 pillows with his head hanging off, so no surprise. But really, there is some serious issues. Those are what we feel. And of course, if we're purposely injuring ourselves, or not purposely, but if we get in an accident or we, hurt our muscle from having a fall, but there is deficiencies that definitely can lead to all these problems. So I definitely, because I have to leave the show at 10:45 and you're going to be gracious enough to finish the show, I definitely got to cover my two favorite things in detail, okay? So we need to talk about magnesium. I find it a little crazy that a lot of people are still not taking this supplement. 80% of Americans are definitely deficient in it. Since the 1940s, our soil supply has been deficient. And a lot of times you'll hear the doctor say, oh, just eat the foods that, have magnesium, which is typically like avocados, dark chocolate, which of course I use as my excuse, leafy greens. But the issue is that they're using textbook dietetics information that is extremely outdated, that those foods are high sources of it. But if the soil doesn't have enough, the foods won't have enough. Now, I always say, we have our soil system has evolved to where it will sneak into the leafy greens more than anything else. The leafy greens still are amazing things, and we should eat an abundance of leafy greens. But we all know we're not eating enough leafy greens or avocados or other healthy foods. So supplementing magnesium is critical. But unfortunately, if you go to some of the larger outlets or places that really the customers' care isn't their first thing in mind, you will find cheap products like magnesium oxide. Minerals are super difficult to absorb, and these type of minerals, if they're not processed correctly or they're not the right types, they'll do more damage than good. And unfortunately, it gives the supplement industry a bad rap because I took this, it did nothing. It made all these claims, but I felt nothing. You have to look at where you're buying it and where they're sourcing it. It's really important to buy quality in any nutrient you buy. But magnesium, I have two favorites. So I had to be persuaded for my new favorite because I was always doing magnesium, ionized magnesium calm for 30 years at least. It was wonderful. I felt better right away. My muscle tension went down. Headaches would go away right away. I would have better bowel movements. I loved the ionized. But what has really come to my attention in the last year is magnesium glycinate. So magnesium glycinate deserves all the fame it's getting. It is highly absorbable, so it's bioavailable to the human body. There is no toxicity to it. It's great for, magnesium can do over 200 to 300 different human functions. So it helps all the muscles in the body. Like Dr. Ravi mentioned, one of the most important muscles is the heart. So it helps with AFib, heart arrhythmias. You can use it to help even your eye movement. It does everything, magnesium. But one of the reasons I love it too is because people overlook the gut health, and I know that could be a whole nother show, but we need to reduce waste in our colon and in our intestinal tract, so it helps that muscle contraction and the moisture in the bowels, so that way less waste, your body works better. Remember, your gut is your microdome, your second brain. So, and I bring that up because, toxicity could lead to muscular issues and headaches and tension, and stress as well. There are other forms of magnesium, like I have blends that have taurinate in there, and so many different forms.
Threonate.
But the one that I just really stress to stay away from is the oxides. Please try to get the better forms. And glycinate now, even I have a chewable at my store that's a clean chewable that's safe for children. So let's not forget our younger population, especially with them holding, as you know, Dr. Ravi, on their devices, staring down, getting what you call text neck. And, the magnesium will help their muscles relax, stop their headaches. I hear the kids saying way too often, oh, I have a headache. Oh, my neck hurts. Oh, that's why my son's trying to get in to see you, you know, because of that. I'm like, well, maybe, you know, do some more exercise and stop holding the phone, you know.
Looking down, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Common sense here. But magnesium is great. But the one that a lot of people, and I just want to add, so I still love Calm. So I still sell Calm. I use Calm. I love it. I put in a little hot water at night. Matt and I drink it as a tea. So I do feel that it has valuable, abilities in the body, and sometimes different magnesiums do different things. So, if you wanted to take both, I decided to take both because I feel like magnesium is so important in the human body that I need both. And I know I'm definitely deficient. Sugar cravings is a sign that you're deficient in magnesium. If you drink soda, if you eat processed sugar, if you do too much caffeine, it's definitely going to lend towards magnesium deficiency. So
another big sign is these Charlie horses, the involuntary contraction of the muscles.
Right. Which sometimes people will like wake up out of a dead sleep from. So, ever since I've been doing the magnesium steadily, I've never had a Charlie horse. But people come in with tears in their eyes about like how painful it was. So I would definitely suggest starting magnesium protocol as soon as possible. The other one that I would keep in my magic kit would be arnica. I love how I just did air quotes, like everyone could say air quotes. So arnica is a homeopathic. There is so many studies about arnica. It can come in a gel, an ointment, little tiny arnica pellets. But what's critical about homeopathy is that you dose as quickly as possible. So if you're blessed with never having a muscle issue or any cramping issue, then you're one of the lucky ones. But if not, I would go to your local health food store. Or do you sell arnica at your practice?
We have something, Cryoderm.
Oh, okay.
It has arnica in it.
Oh, cool. Okay, so, go to someone you can trust, get some arnica, and keep it in your first aid kit.
Yes.
Because homeopathy works best at first sign of the issue. And most surgeons are recommending arnica now right before you even go under the knife. So whether you're having a simple surgery or you got in a serious car accident, you want to get that arnica on you right away. Now, you can apply the external one to broken skin, but you can do the pellets under your tongue. The trick is frequency of dosing. So you would do their little tiny pellets, and they have specialized bottles so your fingers never touch the pellets. Why? Because the medicine is on the outside of the pellets, and the oil of your skin or just your fingers alone will contaminate the absorbability of the homeopathic. So you want to put it under your tongue in a normal mouth. So no coffee, no mints, no toothpaste, at least 15 or 20 minutes before or after food. And then the dosing is every 20 minutes for most homeopathy, especially arnica, until the bruising, the swelling, the inflammatory process has calmed right down. And then you could do every 2 hours. But the arnica, I used it for all my surgeries because I didn't do any pain meds or anti-inflammatories. And my doctor was astonished. I mean, he knew about arnica and he told people casually about it. But after me, he made it mandatory.
Oh, awesome.
He said that I healed in half the amount of time. I had 72 stitches, and do you know I had no bruising at all? And I would thought like it was just normal. And he's like, Joanne, he goes, everyone bruises. He goes, I expected your bruise because I had it on the top of my head. And he expected my bruising to almost go down to my chest. Isn't that crazy? My whole face to my chest bruising. He said, that's the normal. I had none, not even on my forehead. So arnica is amazing. Now, you can do the ointments and the gels if something's externally. And the coolest part about arnica, even if you have deep bruising inside, internal bruising where you can't see it, like you had heart surgery or something, it will help from within. So I feel like it's a win-win. As long as you use the homeopathic preparations, there's not toxicity. But if you're getting some homegrown herb combination, please make sure you know who you're getting it from and do not ingest it. Arnica, just like comfrey, amazing for bruising, healing, swelling. But if you get a preparation done by, your friend, your neighbor, do not ingest it. It could be toxic. So homeopathics, you have the safety, the great effect of it. And it's simple. There's no taste. Kids can even use it right under the tongue. The pellets dissolve immediately. Inexpensive, too. I mean, I usually sell like a 4-pack of pellets for like $14. It's very inexpensive. I mean,
definitely something to put in your health kit. Yeah.
All that other stuff, all those other bombs and toxic ingredients, they're expensive. So,
and this is something natural.
Definitely.
Right from a
and
plant.
you have cryoderm, and you gave that to me when I had my neck thing.
Yes.
I loved it.
Yes.
Love the cryoderm.
Has boswellia in it as well.
I trust you so much. I didn't even read the ingredients. I didn't even know it had arnica in it.
Yes.
Well, you know what? You mentioned at the beginning of the show that because in case anyone missed me when I left, you were going to offer prizes for callers. You want to tell everyone about that right before the next break?
So anyone that calls in will get some free samples of cryoderm in our office. So they will have to show up to our office for it, though.
Okay.
Or unless I can get it to you.
All right. Well, before we go on the break, why don't you tell everyone in the offices I'm going to bid farewell. So enjoy Dr. Ravi. I wish I could be here the next 15 minutes, but I have to open up the store again. We're 11 to 3, Monday through Saturday, everyone. So Dr. Ravi, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. And I'll see you soon.
I'll see you next month.
Yeah. No, I'll see you soon. I'll be there for a visit.
Dr. Ravi resumes when we return.
Guiding the Treasure Coast in health, one person at a time. That's their motto at Joanne's Nutrition World in the historic arcade building on US 1, downtown Fort Pierce. Joanne brings more than 25 years of experience in the natural health industry, right here to you. Take advantage of this free personal guide to wellness and good health. Meet with Joanne herself and get started. Nutrition World always provides you with the hottest new product lines and, best of all, expert advice from the people who care. Call Joanne at 464-3598, 464-3598, and learn the correlation between diet and great health. Stop in today. The expert guidance to health is always free at Nutrition World. Nutrition World in the Arcade Building, US 1, downtown Fort Pierce.
Listen to Joanne's World of Nutrition every Thursday morning at 10 on WPSL.
Is your business open? Let your customers know on WPSL and WSTU. Fuel your reopening digitally on TuneIn Worldwide and Alexa in your office, car, or home.
And now, back to Joanne's World of Nutrition. And for the remainder of the show, your special guest host is none other than Dr. Ravi.
Good morning. Today we're talking all about muscles. And so the first half of the segment, Joanne was here and we were talking about some great support systems for anyone that has muscular strains, which is basically inflammation and tearing of the muscle fibers. So we have a special. So if anyone has any questions in regards to spinal health, muscular health, give us a call at 340-1590, and I will be here to answer those questions, and you will be receiving some free samples of our cryoderm. Cryoderm is great for any type of muscular tension, muscular aches and pain, and you will be able to pick that up at my office at Tradition Family Chiropractic in Tradition. The address is 10552 Southwest Village Parkway, Port St. Lucie, Florida 34987. They can always give us a call at 772-345-0060 to get that cryoderm. If they have any questions, be sure to call in so you get those.
That's right.
Cryoderm.
And when you do call in, after you talk to Dr. Ravi, we'll put you on hold, and then off the air, I'll get your first name and your phone number so that when you show up at Tradition Family Chiropractic to receive your prize, well, you'll be able to properly identify yourself. And if that prize will be waiting for you over there.
And my staff won't be wondering, who is this?
No, they'll know because they'll be expected, because I'll hand it over to Dr. Ravi before he leaves the building today. So.
Yes.
340-1590.
So give us a call if you have any questions. The next few minutes, what I want to talk about is muscle health in regards to the spine. And so our spine basically provides our framework of our body. Our posture helps to provide us with stability and movement. And we can't do that without our muscles. So with our muscles, they attach right onto our spine. And so as a chiropractor, we work directly with the musculoskeletal system as well. So taking care of those muscle problems. And so as you know, I see with many of my patients is that when a spine is misaligned, or as we call subluxation, this causes the muscles to tighten up or to become very, very hard or constricted in one area and doesn't allow for proper flexibility within movement. And so leading this on for many years, it can become a chronic issue. And so adjustments help to relieve that, but also it's what do we do afterwards? So I've had many questions in regards to when do I use ice? When do I use heat? And so I'm going to go through a few of these here. So icing is great for any type of acute injuries. So any type of new muscular injuries within 6 weeks and less. And the purpose of ice basically helps to numb the pain. It relieves inflammation, or once again, pain, and it decreases bruising. Anything that has been there for longer than 6 weeks is your body can't adapt to that injury. And so I recommend using heat for anything longer than 6 weeks. Heat is going to help relax tight muscles, tight musculature. So I often recommend that for any of my scoliosis patients on one side of their spine versus the other. And it helps to relieve achy joints. This is great for my population, the elder population that have a lot of arthritis that, chiropractic, we can't take that away, but we can prevent it from getting worse. So utilizing heat is also great for that as well. One special thing with the cryoderm is cryoderm does come in a heat way and also does come with it being cold. So depending on the type of injury, how long it's been there, those are the best recommendations. Also with any type of other muscular strains, when we talk about the muscles that are, tearing due to oversitting, prolonged sitting, overuse of body mechanics, exercise or activity, compression. So just compressing that area and elevating it as well. So these are great protocols to utilize within muscular health. And when I take care of my patients, one of the best things that a patient can do before their adjustment, Cliff, is warming up their spine.
Now, how would you want, like a heat pad?
No. So, one of the exercises they do to warm up their spine is just sitting on a wobble cushion. We call it a wobble cushion. It's very similar to an exercise ball. And they perform different types of movements. So side to side, front to back, and just rotating on the cushion. This helps to warm up their muscles so they get a great adjustment in. Yeah, so it provides for movement.
An inversion table, what about something like that?
Inversion tables are great for circulation. Mm-hmm. So getting more blood flow circulating through the body.
Plus, when we're relaxed, like when we're sleeping, and we totally relax, our muscles relax around the bones that sort of kind of come apart a little bit, like the spine area.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you sleep wrong, you wake up with a pain in your back because, well, you were relaxed, and while you were relaxed, those discs kind of moved a little bit.
Compressing that nerve. Now the muscles tighten up to help with that innate injury that's going on, and your body's just trying to support itself. Unfortunately, it causes that inflammation, and that elicits the pain.
So an inversion table would help with that.
Yeah, it'll help with that circulation, helping the body at ease.
I'll need to consult my physical therapist about my use of an inversion table. I'm thinking
especially with the hip, yeah.
Right, I had a double hip replacement, and because the prosthetic hip goes down into the femur bone, you might not want to use an inversion table till like 6 to 8 weeks after.
Yeah, it might be too soon right now.
Yeah,
for that.
My instincts are telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
But But down the road, I've been hearing a lot of good things about inversion tables and what they do with it.
Yeah, oftentimes I recommend that for my patients as well. Yeah. Okay. One of the biggest things that I've just been seeing more frequently is patients that are presenting with fibromyalgia. And so I can talk a whole episode on this. So I just want to give a few things here on fibromyalgia for anyone that's listening out there. Basically, what it is, it's widespread pain. And to be clinically diagnosed, you have to have 18 different points of tenderness.
Whoa.
18 different points of tenderness. And clinically, there is no specific X-ray or MRI or blood work that gives a diagnosis. So if you have these 18 different points of tenderness, you're just labeled with fibromyalgia. And so many of the different causes of fibromyalgia come from stress, especially with what's going on within our economy, in our world, with this pandemic. Many people are stressed, and along with this, it's creating physical and, once again, emotional distress. And our weakest area of our spine actually holds on to the stress. So that's why sometimes, these stressful people, they feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders.
Well, that's why stress and chronic pain can lead to high blood pressure within itself. That alone raises the blood pressure.
We have a circular issue going around with, you're diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Now your organs aren't working effectively. So now you have heart issues, high blood pressure. The high blood pressure is now causing diabetes because you're stressed. You're just stress eating a lot of these sugary foods, and you're depleting proper nutrients. So we run into these issues with circular syndromes where patients just have a whole bunch of cascade of issues going on. And on top of this, with fibromyalgia, there's certain ways we can manage this. More coming from a holistic standpoint, instead of talking about drugs and just medications, managing stress. So doing the breathing activity that we were just doing recently at the beginning of the show.
That's a big one.
Definitely brings more ATP to the muscles, which is energy.
Oh, yeah.
Relaxation techniques. So finding out what relaxes you. Is it massages? Is it reading a good book? Is it getting to the beach? Is it, spending time with your kids?
The breathing part, that can come in handy if you have trouble sleeping at night. Try it at night. Try it in a laying down position and watch what happens. You'll learn to put yourself to sleep.
Yeah. Also, biofeedback therapy. Once again, getting to the root cause of the issue with biofeedback therapy. And my favorite one, and I promise I'm not being biased on this one, but it's chiropractic.
Now, I wonder why you'd be biased in that area. But
yeah, so chiropractic actually helps to regulate the nervous system, right? And so what we find with fibromyalgia patients is their nervous system is dysregulated. So there's too much of an impulse going in their parasympathetic nervous system. So it always creates that heightened stress with them.
Chiropractic work is basically some of the best things that you can do for fibromyalgia.
And sometimes I have these extreme patients that it is really hard to even touch them. So, working with them with their supplements to decrease their inflammation in the first half of their treatment works amazing. I also use a machine called an arthrostim. So patients that I can't physically adjust, I use this to help get that adjustment in their spine to help relax the muscle and the tone of the muscle. So it helps to increase their healing process. Along with, once again, the cryoderm helps to do that as well.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, I want to mention the prize one more time, because if any call to this show, and we've only got 4 minutes left in the show, I'd love to at least be able to give someone an opportunity to win something for free from Tradition Family Chiropractic.
Just give us a call at 347-1590 and ask a question.
No, 340-1590, yeah.
Yes, and the prize is some samples of cryoderm.
Cryoderm, okay.
Cryoderm that has arnica, boswellia, and ilex. Some of the things that Joanne was talking about in being analgesic, meaning it helps to take care of the pain and increase the anti-inflammatory response.
I got a kick out of her talking about the salt licking part, because I remember Well, I used to go wandering out in the woods a lot when I was a kid. While I was out there wandering, I'd find a salt lick left on a tree out there for the deer, And
deers need salt too.
I know, and I was amazed that they knew how to find it. They could smell it, and it would draw them to it, and you'd find them. Now, I wouldn't try to share one with a deer. Oh dear, that would not be good. But,
that would not, yeah.
No, but they need salt too, and they know how to find it. That's amazing how an instinct that they're born with shows them what they need.
Well, that salt is very important, especially for being a mineral itself. Sodium, Na, a very important mineral in our body. And so when we get our blood work done, this is something specifically that we should look at is our levels with sodium, salt, potassium, and our magnesium levels as well.
Well, that's what they feed you with in the hospital. Oh my! But my goodness, time flies around here.
It does.
You would not believe. And how would you wrap up this morning's get together on the show?
So talking all about muscles, and so making sure you're supporting your body with the proper nutrients. And number one nutrient for that is magnesium. We're not getting it in through our diet, so this is something that I do recommend supplementing it through supplements.
Right. Now, let's take a calcium supplement. Do you need magnesium for a calcium supplement to actually work?
They go hand in hand depending on what the goal is. If you're looking for more bone health, calcium and magnesium will work hand in hand.
Right, because it takes one to make the other one work.
Yeah,
okay.
So today's purpose is mainly talking about the muscles and for anti-inflammatories. And just for general health in general, magnesium, 300 plus different metabolic reactions happen with magnesium. So you want to make sure you're supplementing with that, whether it's a glycinate or the citrate form to help calm the nervous system. So your muscles can work well.
Now, in the meantime, let's just say somebody's curiosity is aroused and they want to come visit you in your office at Tradition Family Chiropractic. How do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of us through our website, traditionhealth.com, or give us a call at 345-0060, where our mission is to lead a health revolution as the compelling choice for chiropractic and holistic living.
And empowering you in that revolution, we have archives of this show, even the ones with Dr. Ravi sitting in from time to time, of Joanne's World of Nutrition, on YouTube. Just go to WPSLTV.com. That'll take you to our YouTube connection. We'll be seeing you again soon on Joanne's World of Nutrition, Dr.
Yes,
Ravi.
thanks for having me, everyone. Next month, third Thursday.
Third Thursday. All right, see ya in July. In the meantime, you can meet Dr. Ravi at his practice, Tradition Family Chiropractic. This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, WPSL.com, on Alexa, Google Home, and your TuneIn app.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. CBS News has learned a New York City police officer has just been arrested for putting a black man in a chokehold over the weekend.
Yo, stop choking him, bro!
The incident involving Officer David Afanador was caught on cell phone video. The New York City Council made chokeholds a criminal offense for police just days ago. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are expected to vote on a Democratic version of a police reform bill today. Congressional Black Caucus Chair Karen Bass.
It is the cell phone camera that has exposed the continuation of violence directed at African Americans by the police and exposed the reality that the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is not guaranteed to all African Americans at all times.
The bill is opposed by Republicans who've presented their own version. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told CBS News it's so weak it makes the party complicit in murder. Coronavirus infections continue a worrisome new trend. The U.S. is reporting the largest single-day increase in cases since the outbreak began, with more than 38,000. This man blames the rush to reopen.
It just makes me wonder, why do we send our kids to school to study things like science, then to ignore it later when it could save our lives?
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has just issued an executive order suspending elective surgeries in 4 counties to free up more hospital space for COVID patients. Coronavirus infections, they continue that worrisome trend as a new study shows a breakthrough drug to treat COVID-19 reduces deaths in critically ill patients, but may be dangerous to people with milder forms of the virus. CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus.
Dexamethasone is a steroid. It suppresses the immune system. So it seems to benefit when there's a cytokine storm. That is, when the immune response to the virus is overwhelming the body and causing leakiness in the lung. When used early, it can actually suppress the immune system.
Lots of people are still losing jobs. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Just under 1.5 million Americans filed for new unemployment benefits last week. That's a drop of 60,000 from the prior week, though above analyst expectations.
The total number who signed up for benefits is 19.5 million, down from almost 25 million in early May. We found out this morning Macy's is cutting 3,900 corporate jobs, about 3% of its total workforce. One-time favorite with the 10-ish and under set has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Chuck E. Cheese's!
The House of Pizza-loving mouse hopes a federal judge will allow it to reorganize and continue operating. The Dow is down 64. This is CBS News.
Hard-hitting investigations, in-depth interviews.